at the jail to pick this guy up and then drop him off at your organization there to do the blood draw at 7:30. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if there's this rush to make sure all this is within a certain time limit. Again, this guy's already admitted to smoking marijuana, 3 hours prior to the stop. And my understanding is it's all metabolized after a couple hours. That's why they want to have like a roadside breath test for marijuana, because it's so quick. But yet this officer apparently is wasting all sorts of time getting this warrant, and then doesn't show up at your place to get a blood draw until 7:30 in the morning.
Very weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought too.
Good evening.
Hi.
Hey, can you roll down a little bit there?
Yeah.
You want to stop you tonight, sir?
No, really.
Okay, you got a headlight out up there.
Dude, I thought I noticed that.
Yeah, it's your right side passenger headlight up there.
That just happened.
Okay. Did this go out today, you thinking?
Well, just a little bit ago.
Okay.
Because that's when I noticed it.
Okay, you got your license on you? Okay, perfect. Where we headed to tonight?
Just so you know.
Oh, okay. Go down there and do a little gambling?
A little bit.
Okay, perfect. Is it your vehicle driving tonight there, Jesse?
My friend.
Okay, who's that?
Sean Nebo.
Okay, you got his proof of insurance in here with you?
I got insurance of my own.
Okay, do you have insurance for this vehicle?
Well, not yet because it didn't go through. Well, I didn't get the copy yet.
Okay.
And I have, like, proof of insurance.
What do you mean it didn't go through then?
I get it emailed to me.
Okay.
And they haven't got it yet, but I got the old one to make sure it lets you know it's still good.
Okay. Just you want to hop out of the vehicle here and I'll talk to you a little bit. Yeah, that's what we first like that. You can leave it running and everything like that. I just want to talk to you for a second if you want to shut that. Just, you got anything I need to be aware of, any guns, knives, bombs, or anything like that? Okay, do you mind if I pat you down real quick to make sure? Okay, watch you put your hands on top of your counter. I'm just going to make sure you don't have any of those things, okay?
Well, I got it.
Little gun, knife here? Okay, I'm going to hold on to this while I'm talking to you, okay? Okay. Just you don't get any warrants or anything like that? Okay. How about people in the vehicle? Okay. Okay. I'll just turn around here and you can put the lighter and stuff in your pocket there.
Yeah, like this?
Hold on off for a little bit. It's already kind of lit, obviously, but just you can drink tonight?
No, sir.
Okay. You can do any drugs or alcohol?
No, sir.
Anything like that would impair your eyes the way they are?
No.
Okay. It seems like you're a little bit glossy and your pupils are a little messed up. Any reason for that?
No, sir.
Okay. Are you being honest with me?
Yeah.
You smoke a little bit of pot or anything stupid like that?
Yeah.
I ain't worried about that.
Not recently, anyway.
Okay.
A little bit here. Obviously, like I told you out there that, I want to talk to you and hear a little bit like this stuff, but at the same point in time, I kind of want to go through a little bit more stuff with you since that we're not in the -12 below out there, okay? Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you doing okay?
No, I'm fine.
Okay. Are you just cold or what's going on? Okay.
Just cold.
Can you look at me while I talk to you a little bit here? Okay. So, like I said, I checked your eyes out there a little bit, and I told you some of the signs that I was seeing out there on the side of the road, but at the same point in time, it's -12 degrees, the wind's blowing, everything like that, okay? So what I want to do is I want to talk to you a little bit more and look at a couple things, okay? Can you stand up here for me? And I just want to check your eyes again here. Okay. And then I'm just going to do the same test that I did out there as far as the horizontal gaze, and I say, you're still really contracted. Are you thinking that your eyes are normally that contracted, or have you ever been told that before?
Yes.
Okay. Who's told you that?
I don't know. Just probably other officers.
Okay.
Because I've been falsely accused a lot by officers, so this ain't something. I'm not saying you're doing it.
Okay. And to be honest with you, here's my problem here, Jesse. Okay.
Okay, December 19th, 2016, 11:13 a.m. Contacting Riverwood Health Center.
Thank you for calling Riverwood Healthcare Center. If you have a medical emergency, please hang up and dial 911. Please listen to the following options as they have changed. To schedule, reschedule, or cancel an appointment, please press 1. If you are calling for a medication refill, press 2. For billing questions, press 3. For medical records or release of information, press 4. To leave a message with clinic nursing or your provider, press 5. To speak or schedule with Dermatology Associates, please press 6. For all other calls, please remain on the line for the next available patient representative. You may experience longer than normal hold times as we update patient information for our new electronic medical record system. Please have your insurance information available. Our staff will be with you shortly. We appreciate your patience. Riverwood Healthcare, how may I help you?
Yes, who would I speak to if trying to find out about your... it's a question about your phlebotomist there and blood draws for the sheriff's department. I'm just trying to figure out what sort of history your phlebotomists take prior to doing blood draws for like search warrants for implied consent, tests for, alcohol testing or impaired.
Well, I think I can either transfer you to the lab and you can see if somebody there knows, or yeah, let's do that, and they would know better what they have to go through, okay? And if not, they'll get you to their manager, okay?
Thank you.
Yep.
Lab, this is Russ.
Yeah, how are you doing today?
Good. I'm just calling.
Yeah, this is Terry Nemmers. I have some questions. I'm just wondering, like say the sheriff's department brings a warrant for you to do a blood draw on some individual they consider to be under the influence of either drugs or alcohol, like for an implied consent test. What kind of history do you do on that person? I mean, do you do any history at all, or do you have them fill out an intake form at all?
No. All of the information that is provided in the draw kit from the state.
Okay, so then you keep a copy of that for your records?
I keep a copy if a warrant is issued by a judge to get the specimen for the county.
Sure.
Or the state.
Sure. So then you'd keep a copy of whatever is in that kit for your records?
No. If there's a warrant from the judge, then I keep a copy of it. Otherwise, we just provide the service for the county.
Okay.
Or the state.
Okay, but you don't, like these blood draws, like say if someone for alcohol, they're required to have a start time when they start doing this implied consent, so they know then that they're not going over a certain time limit to interfere with the test results, right?
Yes. That would be something for the county. I don't know what their policy is for that.
Right, but I'm saying is there's a time limit because the body metabolizes the alcohol or the marijuana or whatever at a certain rate, and if they waste time, in this implied consent, then they can be charged with the violation of refusing to take the test, because that will affect the test results.
Okay.
That's correct?
Yes.
Oh, okay, that's what I'm trying to get at. So I'm just...
That's more of a stuff to be asking the state or something other than us.
Oh, okay, well I was just
all we
wondering...
do is just draw the sample.
Okay, so you don't ask any questions whether this person...
No.
Okay, so the reason why I'm calling is this individual that I'm looking at his records. Allegedly he was, apparently he did admit to smoking marijuana a few hours before he was stopped, and then the officer wasted all sorts of time. I've got the implied consent thing. It says he was stopped at 1:34 in the morning. Okay. And then the implied consent thing was started at 3:22 a.m. And then he demanded to speak to an attorney, so it was stopped at 3:24. And then by 3:57 they just ended it because he requested that they get a warrant for the blood draw. Okay? So it was completed at 3:57. Now, apparently, according to the police report, this officer actually drove 40-some miles to the judge's home instead of faxing this warrant to them or emailing it or whatever. And then...
that seems rather odd.
Yes, exactly. But then apparently they showed up at your organization at 7:30 in the morning. Okay? Now, I would think that, and for some reason, there's no record of the officer going to the judge's home and coming back. There's this break in time from this 3:57. What did I say it was, or something like that, to the time when they show up at the jail to pick this guy up and then drop him off at your organization there to do the blood draw at 7:30. So that's what I'm trying to figure out. I mean, if there's this rush to make sure all this is within a certain time limit. Again, this guy's already admitted to smoking marijuana, 3 hours prior to the stop. And my understanding is it's all metabolized after a couple hours. That's why they want to have like a roadside breath test for marijuana, because it's so quick. But yet this officer apparently is wasting all sorts of time getting this warrant, and then doesn't show up at your place to get a blood draw until 7:30 in the morning.
That's very weird.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. Because I would think whatever, even if it was alcohol, even if he was smoking at the time, whatever you'd be gathering would essentially be gone.
Correct.
Okay, well that's what I was...
So I agree that that's rather odd. So.
Well, that's why I was wondering if you took any sort of history, because I would think if he explained that to you, you'd say that's odd and make a notation in your notes. But according to what you've told me, you don't really take any history or anything at all. You just get
it's just a service we provide to the county.
Okay, so then...
officers aren't trained in drawing blood, so we just draw the blood and fill out the paperwork in the kit, and they take it away.
Okay, so all the paperwork goes into the kit then?
Yep, correct.
Okay, but so how do you get paid for the service then?
We don't even. It's 1 second. Let me see if we even put them in the computer anymore.
Okay.
When we get a legal blood draw from the sheriff's deputies, do they put them in the computer? No. So we don't get charged. We don't get a charge anymore or anything.
That's going to charge. Because nothing is in their charge.
Okay.
So we just go right entering to the sheriff's department.
Here, I'm going to let you talk to my supervisor as far as how that's documented in our system. I'm not really...
It's really not. Nothing goes to the patient's chart.
Yeah, nothing goes on their chart whatsoever. It's just, there's, I suppose you could look back and see like a time that they walked through the door.
Okay.
But that is really all there is.
Okay, okay. So you really keep no records of any of these blood draws then?
Nope, because that's up to the county.
Okay. I would think, that would be a certain liability issue, though, if you didn't have any records at all, though, right?
Well, no, we have a visit in our system.
Oh, okay. Okay, so you do have some sort.
But it's just it doesn't have any information of the patient. It's just strictly for basically numbers, record keeping as far as numbers go.
Okay, so
There's no patient identifying information. It's
Okay, so if the person who had the blood draw wants to get that record, how would he do that? I mean, if there's no identification.
there is no record because it's a simple.
Well, you said it's a visit.
What's the patient's name?
What's that?
What's the patient's name?
Well, his name is Jesse Alvord.
Okay.
And I don't.
Alvord.
Alvord.
Jesse.
Jesse. Jesse.
Common spelling.
Yep.
Okay. Does it give a visit date and time? So there's no way of knowing a time or anything? Okay.
Well, if it got ordered up, it would be in there, but so I don't know if it was done and somebody just didn't do the rec entry to bill for it. I don't know.
Okay. Well, I can see that we have him in our system, but we don't have any record of him having this legal blood alcohol drawn here.
Okay. All right. Well, I appreciate you taking the time to explain this all to me.
No, I hope it made it clearer than mud. So.
Yeah, well, I yes, thank you. It did help.
Okay, very good.
Yeah, bye now.